All right, everyone. Hello and welcome for another weekly workshop and coaching session. We are going to be going over the lender pre-qualification checklist again today. There were a couple of people who had some questions, so we're just going to take everything from the top and explain everything today. Really, just regarding how to focus on being able to qualify for business credit and qualify for funding without having to use your personal guarantee. We will get started here in about another 5 minutes as people are coming into the chat. If you're watching from YouTube or if you are watching from Facebook, welcome, welcome, welcome. Definitely leave your comments and questions in the chat, and I will try to make sure I get to everyone as we are moving along here. We're going to get started in a few minutes here. For those of you just joining us, I see a few people coming into the chat. We are going to get started in a few minutes here. The big topic today is focusing on how to get pre-qualified for funding without having to use your personal credit, your personal guarantee. A lot of people think that you're just going to put an EIN down and that's the end of it. That's just going to get you all the money in the world. There are a few bits and pieces of information missing from that myth, and we're going to cover all of that today. So just sit tight. If you're watching from YouTube or if you are watching from Facebook, definitely put in the comment section where you're watching from and what you do, what the name of your business is. And if you have any questions along the way, definitely comment and I will try to make sure I answer all those in the next few minutes here. And my name is Bob Hunter. I'm one of the specialists here at My Business Credit, and we're going to get started soon. And for anyone who would like to get this checklist, you can actually go to mybusinesscredit.com/checklist and you can get a copy of this for yourself. As we're going through it, it's just a nice little handy tool to have as we're kind of paying attention to what those qualifications are. So go to mybusinesscredit.com/checklist to download a copy of the checklist we're about to go through right now. All right. All right, so we've got a few people in here on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, welcome, welcome. If you're on Facebook, welcome to the chat. Let's go ahead and get started. So again, my name is Bob Hunter. I'm one of the specialists here at My Business Credit. And we're going to be talking today about our lender pre-qualification checklist. So let's first pretend, for example, that someone wants to give your business $100,000 as the example, okay? Someone wants to give your business $100,000. You apply for it. You've already got all these dreams about what you're going to do with it. Some people, maybe you're trying to hire more staff. Maybe you're trying to get more product. Maybe you're trying to buy more equipment. Whatever it is, you need $100,000 for your business, okay? Now, there's a few ways to go get that. You go to the bank. You try to get a loan. You try to go to a peer-to-peer lender. You try various types of alternative funding. You try to get a term loan. There's so many ways that you might try to go get that, but every time you're applying, you're getting denied. Your business needs that $100,000, but you keep on getting denied for it. Or they'll say, hey, we'll give it to you, but it's going to come with these not so favorable terms. Or they say, hey, we'll give you the $100,000, but we're going to need you to personally guarantee the loan so that if anything happens, we can come after you personally for the money, right? So that defeats the whole purpose of having an LLC because you wanted to limit your liability. Now you're on the hook for 100 grand. How do we prevent all that? How do we get the money into your business without you having to do a personal guarantee? And how do we minimize the chances for you to get denied for that funding, right? Only 10 out of every 100 people, if they're applying, only 10 out of every 100 people are actually going to get approved for the loan. How do we actually make it so that you can be one of those people who gets approved without having to do a personal guarantee? It's going to start with your business entity, okay? Before anyone is going to give your business $100,000, they want to make sure first that you are a legitimate business, that you are someone who actually, if given the money, is going to use that money for actual business purposes. We verify these things through some basics. Business registration. Is your business even registered in the state that you're supposed to be doing business in, right? Are you registered with the Secretary of State? If I run a search for your business on the SOS website, let's say that I'm in Georgia, I'm personally in Atlanta. Let's say that I go to the Secretary of State website, I search for your business name. Does anything show up, right? So are you registered in the state that you plan to do business in? This is a basic. So many people don't have that basic done. EIN is the next one. If you are supposed to be getting this money for your business, remember, we're trying to get $100,000 for your business with no personal guarantee, that's going to happen through your EIN. You're putting your employer identification number, also called a tax ID, you're putting that down on the applications instead of your social security number. So does your business have an EIN that is registered with the IRS? You go to irs.gov, you get your EIN, that's another one of the basics. These next three cover credibility, right? So business address, business phone number, business email, these are all about legitimacy. If I'm supposed to be giving your business $100,000, I want to know that you are a well-established and reliable business. Your business address. Are you doing business outside of your house, or do you have a dedicated business address where you are receiving your mail, you're receiving business correspondence, where you're doing business? If not, that's going to be a red flag for lenders because, again, if I'm supposed to be giving your business $100,000, I want to verify that you're someone who's going to be trustworthy. Business phone number, kind of the same as the address. Are you taking phone calls for your business just on your regular phone number? Someone calls, it's just hello? Or is it a professional presence that you have for your business? Are you someone who has a phone system or even a dedicated business phone line? If you don't, yet another red flag that says, maybe this business isn't as established as what I would like if I'm supposed to be giving someone $100,000 so that they can grow their business. Email, much the same as the phone number. Are you one of those people who are using on your official applications and documents yourbusiness@gmail.com? Are you one of those people? Or are you one of those people who are using your name at yourbusiness.com? A professional email address isn't even that expensive, and yet so many people don't have it. I think Google now charges about $12 a month for a professional Gmail, right? So it can be your name at yourbusiness.com. $12, if it's going to help you get qualified for the $100,000 you need, that's a pretty small expense. So it's worth it to go and get that business email address. So all of these things we just talked about are about establishing basic credibility, saying, hey, I do have a legitimate and established business. If you want to learn more about, as we're moving through this, if you want to learn more about any of these things, we teach, as you can see these buttons right here, we teach all of these things on our website step by step in various training modules through our course. You can go to mybusinesscredit.com/links and get access to all that stuff where you can, see the lessons, see the breakdown, see the why, and everything else. All right, so we talked about just the basic credibility. Now let's get more into your business presence, your overall profile as a business. First big one is going to be your DUNS number. Do you even have a DUNS number? Do you even know what a DUNS number is? Similar to how you have your EIN, you also want to make sure that you have a DUNS number because that's going to be where your business credit profile is being established. Now, of course, the major bureaus are going to be Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax Business, Credit Safe. Dun & Bradstreet comes first on that list, though, because they're the ones who are keeping the most easily accessible information about your business, followed by Experian. You go to Dun & Bradstreet, get the DUNS number. They will create one for you eventually anyway, but if they do it, you have very little control over the information that's being given to them, if any information is going to them for your business at all. Better to just go right away, get your DUNS number yourself, set your profile up yourself, make sure everything is correct on your profile, make sure everything looks exactly the way that it's supposed to, and now you have a place where all your business credit history is being kept and managed very well. If you don't have that, where lenders supposed to verify that you actually have business relationships and business credit history established? So that's why your DUNS number is going to come first. Next is verification, right? We just talked about where business lenders are supposed to be looking for information about you. Your website is going to be another big one. If I'm supposed to be giving your business $100,000, I want to know, well, who is this business? Let me go do some basic research. This is all part of the basic underwriting process. I want to see what business is asking for the money. If you don't have your own website, that information is going to be dictated basically by other people, by whatever information just ended up on the internet. Instead of me being able to go to your website, a nice, clean, professional website, and say, all right, so this is what they do. This is what their target is. This is what they offer. This is a legitimate business. All of this stuff is about legitimacy, just because if someone is going to be giving your business, let's just say for this example, $100,000, they want to know that they will get that money back. That is the essence of the lending process. If I give you money, will I get that money back? You having your business website, having a professional one, having one that represents your business well, makes me feel better about giving your business money. So you always want to put yourself in the shoes of the lender as you're going through this process. People get denied for such simple reasons. Website is a big one. Licenses. Are you actually licensed to do business in the thing you're supposed to be doing business in? You'd be surprised how many people, for that question, the answer is no. And it's because they still are not really establishing that legitimacy in their business. So again, going back to the lender, do I really want to give money to a business that is not fully established and licensed to even do business? That puts me at risk as the lender now of losing the money. So the answer is just an easy no. Make sure that you have whatever licenses you need to have for your business with your local government. 411 directory registration. That's another one for research and verification of your legitimacy as a business. If I'm doing some research on whether or not I should be giving you some money, I want to see that business phone number, business address, your business name, everything properly registered in the 411 directory that tells me as a lender that, hey, you are indeed a legitimate business. Now, you can have all this legitimacy, right? So you've got the right address, you've got the right phone number, email, you've got your EIN, you're registered with the state, you've got all that stuff, you've got your DUNS number, website. None of that stuff matters, though, if the finances are not in order. So you want to make sure that you're taking time to cover those business finances. First one being a business bank account. Now, in the earlier step, you got your EIN. Now it's time to use that EIN for a business bank account. If we're supposed to be getting your business money without you having to do a personal guarantee, it's going to help if you're separate, if your business finances are separate from your personal finances. Means that you're not mixing money. You're not selling something and then having that money go right into your personal account. Because if I'm the lender and I'm supposed to give you this money, do I want all that money going into your personal account, where it's harder to track, it's harder to see what's going on? No. I want that money to go into a business account, right? If I'm supposed to be giving you this money, I want to see that you're actually handling money correctly. So I'm going to ask for your business bank statements. I want to see cash flow in those bank statements. I want to see how you're handling your money, because you're supposed to be handling my money now, right, as the lender. So your business bank account is absolutely essential for anyone who is trying to get approved for any kind of financing. And this doesn't matter if you're going to a bank for financing, doesn't matter if you're going to an investor. No one wants that money going into your personal account. It's for the business. You need to make sure that you have a business bank account. Once you've got that, you also want to make sure that you have good financial statements. That basically means that, hey, can we verify any cash flow for your business? Are you actually making money? And it's not just a random examination of your cash flow. We're looking for specific numbers. At the minimum, we want to see $10,000 of revenue coming into your business. That's the bottom, right? Ideally, we want to see a minimum of 30, but 10,000 is just really where the conversation starts. And if your business is making less than $10,000 per month, you're going to end up having to do some kind of personal guarantee just because you genuinely don't have the cash flow to support getting that major loan. So how else is the loan supposed to get paid back, right? If we're going to give you, again, $100,000 and you don't even have $10,000 coming into the business, that's a huge risk for the lender, because how is that money going to get paid back? So your financial statements are going to be huge. Make sure you're keeping good records. Make sure that you're showing good cash flow, and make sure that you're doing everything that you can do to show increasing cash flow so that the lender feels that, hey, you're not only a healthy business, but you're a business that is consistently growing and increasing in revenue. So you want to make sure you've got your business bank account. You want to make sure you've got your financial statements. Tax returns, verifying revenue, okay? We want to see over the last 2 years, because ideally, again, you're a 2-year old business at the minimum. We want to see 2 years of tax returns. Those will either be business or personal, depending on what you're applying for. Now, if you were someone who had less than the 10K that we just mentioned on your financial statements, yeah, they're going to ask you for your personal tax returns, because we have to verify somehow that there is some kind of money coming in. Otherwise, how are you supposed to pay back this loan? So we want to see healthy tax returns, either for your business or personal, depending on what you're doing. It's going to be both. Like if you're asking for an SBA loan, it's going to be both. So we need to verify that that income in your business. We also want to have a good bank rating. Now, a bank rating is something most people don't even know about. A bank rating is basically a measure of your average daily balance over a 90-day period in your business. That's what a bank rating is. That number that we're looking for is a low 5 bank rating, which means you're keeping an average daily balance in your business of $10,000 or more. That means at any given time over the last 90-day period or 3 months, you've got $10,000 on average in the account. That gives you a healthy bank rating. Now, how's anyone supposed to, if you're a small business, if you're just starting out, how's anyone supposed to just have $10,000 sitting there at all times if your cash flow is tight? We'll talk about that a little bit later on how to accomplish that, but think about this from the perspective of the lender. Again, if I'm going to give your business money, I want to make sure that you're not so tight on money that every single dollar is gone as soon as it comes in. That's what this is really about. If I'm going to be giving your business money, I want to see that you have healthy cash flow, you have some kind of cushion where money is able to be saved and used in a healthy way correctly. Now, how do we get around that? If you're supposed to have a low 5 bank rating, you're supposed to keep $10,000 in the account at all times. We can accomplish that by leveraging the money that's coming in, taking that cash and turning that cash into a business line of credit. What am I talking about? A certificate of deposit. That's the secret right there. Getting a certificate of deposit. Let's say hypothetically $5,000 comes into your business for whatever reason, whatever it is that you do, okay? Now, if you're a normal person, normal business owner, you take that money, you might pay payroll, you might do some marketing, give some money over to Facebook for some ads, you might be buying some equipment, you might be buying some products, whatever it is, you're spending that money on your operating expenses on your business, right? All you need to do is take one little step ahead of that. And instead of taking that 5K and spending it right on everything that the business needs, you're taking it to the bank and saying, hey, I need a certificate of deposit for $5,000. Not every bank will do this, but we do have a list on our website where you can learn how to get these leveraged certificates of deposit from the bank. You're then going to take that CD, which now has $5,000 in it, and a CD, for those who don't know, it's a high interest savings account. It's really all that it is. You have to leave your money there for a certain amount of time. If you do, the bank is free to use your money, and they give you extra interest for you saving your money. So you take that CD, and you say to the bank, hey, I need a $5,000 business line of credit. So I basically need a business line of credit that is matching the money in the CD. So now you're getting a secured business line of credit. That $5,000 that you just took, right, that you were going to normally spend on your business, you were going to pay payroll, you were going to run your business. You're taking that same money, you're putting it into a CD, and then you're telling the bank, hey, give me a secured business line of credit against this CD. So the bank now, let's say that normally they wouldn't want to give you a business line of credit unless they do a whole lot of verifications, but with this, let's say you don't pay. They just take the money right out of the CD. There's no risk to the bank. They're happy to give you the money. Now you do that again. Next time you get $5,000. Now you've got $10,000 saved in your CD. You've got $10,000 worth of revolving credit. With that revolving business line of credit, you're still able to pay your bills. You're still able to do payroll. You're able to go buy the stuff that you need for your business. But now you have money sitting in the CD earning interest, and you still have access to your funds. And you're now establishing a good bank rating, which is what this whole thing was about. The Lo-Fi bank rating says, hey, over an average of 90 days, you're keeping at least $10,000 in your account. Getting a certificate of deposit helps you accomplish that, because the CD is not changing balances every day, right? It's just growing up as the interest increases, and you're still able to leverage the rest of the money in that business line of credit. And of course, you're increasing your credit profile as you're keeping healthy track of that business line of credit. You're running your business, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So all of these are really just talking about the business finances for your credit, just to make the lenders feel good about giving you money. And the funny thing is, lenders will happily give you money if you can prove that you don't need it. That's the craziest part. And of course, the people who need the money the most, those are the ones who maybe you don't have any money and you want to go to the bank and say like, hey, I need $100,000. If you already had $100,000 and then asked them for $100,000 more, they'd give it to you way faster. That's not the reality for most people though. So what we're basically doing here is finding ways to make sure that we're still attractive to the banks, to the lenders, to whoever's going to be financing your business. Okay? So now we've talked about all the finance stuff. Let's now get into the credit history stuff, okay? Because after you've established your business, after you've made sure you have a good business profile, you have good financial records, you still need to have relationships. You need to have some kind of credit history. If the entire point here was being able to access money without having to use your personal guarantee, your personal social security number, your personal credit, your business needs to be able to stand on its own to accomplish that. The big myth online is, hey, I'm going to go to the IRS and get an EIN, and the next day I'm going to go buy a car. It does not work like that. If you're going to qualify for unsecured business financing with no personal guarantee, there's a few things that you need, one of those being a good credit history and mix. So let's get into that. First, personal credit score. Even if you're not going to have to do a personal guarantee, the lender still wants to know that you personally have a good credit score, even if you're not going to use that credit to guarantee the loan. Why? If they're going to be giving you money, right? They're going to be giving you that money to handle. They still want to see a track record of you handling money. They want to know that you pay your bills, that you pay your debts, and that you're able to maintain good credit. So the score that they are looking for is a 680 or higher. Once you're getting into that range, you're more likely to be able to get qualified for a business loan or qualified for any kind of financing without having to do a personal guarantee. 680 or higher, that's the number that you're looking for. What this means is, in addition to managing your business credit, please focus on managing your personal credit. That's not going to go away. There's no easy way to just get around that unless you go get someone else who has good credit to sign for all these various funding things that you're trying to get. That's called a credit partner. focus on getting good credit. We don't do personal credit at My Business Credit. There are plenty of people on Google and YouTube that'll help you with that. But make sure you're focusing on having a healthy personal credit score and personal credit history. Next, you want to make sure you have vendor lines of credit. Now, those are going to be basically relationships with other people who are going to give you goods and services, and then you're able to pay for those later. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to go and find a whole bunch of accounts and stuff to buy just for the sake of buying stuff. You can leverage the things that you're already spending money on and just turn those into vendor lines of credit. Easy example. I live in Atlanta. You cannot get anywhere in Atlanta really without driving. And I mean driving for at least 30 minutes too if you're trying to go anywhere. And that takes a lot of gas. Atlanta has notoriously bad traffic, okay? A lot of gas gets spent every week just riding around Atlanta. So if I'm going to be using vendor lines of credit, I'm trying to build my business credit history, I'm already spending this money on gas, why wouldn't I go get a gas card? It's not going to cost me anything extra. I'm not going to spend any extra money, but now the money that I was spending is going towards building my business credit profile. That's just one example. Uline is another example. Uline has so much stuff. Everyone thinks that they only have, like boxes and packaging and stuff for warehouses. No. Uline has toilet paper, napkins, and trash bags and laundry detergent too. So the point here is to start thinking of the things you're spending money on anyway and turn those into vendor lines of credit. Next, you want to make sure that, and you want to get 5 of those. Next, you want to make sure that you are getting other types of credit, so additional trade lines and accounts, business credit cards, revolving accounts, business lines of credit. We talked about how to get a secured one earlier, secured business credit cards, any types of loans. You need a total of 15 healthy accounts. And by healthy, I mean you have evidence of 3 months of payment history to 15 accounts. This does not have to be 15 random things. It can all be stuff that you're spending money on anyway. Let's say that you spend money at Amazon, you spend money at Apple, you spend money at Walmart, you buy gas. Basically, turn all those things you're spending money on into business credit. If you're going to be paying bills, don't pay the bill out of your bank account. Go get a business credit card, pay that money out of your business credit card, and then just simply pay the credit card, right? Start thinking more wisely about how you're spending your money and leveraging that to build healthy business credit and a healthy business profile. And then all of these things, if done correctly and consistently, that gives you a healthy business credit score. You need an 80 or higher if you're going to be trying to accomplish unsecured business financing, meaning you're trying to get a business loan, you're trying to get any kind of financing without having to do a personal guarantee. You need a business credit score of 80 or higher. So you need the business credit score. You need these 15 relationships and accounts. You need to make sure that you have healthy relationships with your vendors. You need to make sure you have a healthy personal credit score. There's a few other things that you might want to make sure you have. 2 years in business, okay? Low 5 bank rating, which we mentioned earlier, right? So we talked about the low 5 bank rating, keeping an average daily balance of $10,000 or more in your account. Those are the ways that you are able to get access to unsecured business financing. Having healthy cash flow as evidenced by your financial statements and tax returns. That's how you're able to get the money without having to do a personal guarantee. If you know that any of these things are missing from your profile, from your business profile, you've got some work to do, right? The point here is that it's no longer a guessing game. You don't have to wonder, if I apply for this or if I apply for that, maybe if I go with this lender versus that one, I'll get approved. It's not a guessing game. All that you need to do is right here on this checklist. You can go to mybusinesscredit.com/checklist. You can get access to this. This will take you, there's a downloadable version right here. This will take you straight to the page, and then you can find out if you're qualified. The other big thing that you need to make sure that you do, as you can see right here at the top, is saying to check your status, take this free assessment, just to kind of see what your starting point is. So if I switch over to the other screen here, this is the pre-qualification sheet. It takes like 5 minutes. It's just going to ask you a few questions like, hey, How much money do you need? And all these things we just talked about on the checklist is going to ask you those same questions just to see where you are. You can go to mybusinesscredit.com slash pre-qualify. That's going to get you to the checklist. And after you're done with that, it'll take you to a page that looks like this. Now, if you're approved, and let me refresh the page so you can see, a little animation. But basically, if you're approved, it's going to break down exactly what you're approved for. And if you're not, it's going to basically say why. So all the stuff we just talked about, do you have a dedicated business address, phone, EIN, business bank account, your website? And if you don't have any of these things, it'll take you over to where you need to go to fix those compliance errors. It's going to go into those preferred applicant qualifications. Qualifying credit score, we said that we need to have a 680 or higher. 2 years in business, business credit score, and monthly revenue. So everything that we just talked about, it's all broken down right here. After you do the pre-qualification, it's also going to break down exactly what it is that you qualify for and what that qualification is based on, okay? So go to our website. That's going to be your next action item if you're trying to take action here. Go to our website and just see what your starting point is. See what you already qualify for. And if you need help with any of these things, definitely go to our interactive course where we're teaching through all these different training modules all the details with a full breakdown of, hey, here's everything that you need to do and here's how to do it, okay? I hate reading walls of text, so none of this stuff is written like that. Everything is broken down into easy to understand steps. Every video covers all this stuff, but just in video form, fully animated. The point here is that you've got every resource to be successful. You just simply have to use them. So again, action, you're going to go get pre-qualified. If you're not pre-qualified, you're going to get a full breakdown of what you need to do to get qualified, and you're going to see all the different options for how to fix anything that is an error on your profile. Then, of course, you can talk to us about taking the next steps, getting funded, and growing your business. So with that said, does anyone have any questions? If you are live on YouTube, if you're live on Facebook, definitely put in the chat any questions that you have, and I will get those answered right now for you. And in the meantime, I will put this link in the chat here on YouTube and Facebook so that you can hop on over. Okay, so there it is on Facebook, and I'll put this in the chat as well on YouTube. Okay, so that you can hop on over and see what your pre-qualifications are. Alright, looks like I did a pretty good job of answering everyone's questions. Again, if you do have any questions for us, you can easily go to mybusinesscredit.com/links. That's where you can quickly see everything. You can go over to the course page, and I'll go back to the training so you can see kind of what that looks like. Expand all that. So here's a full breakdown of everything that is covered. So you can learn all this stuff. Just go to our website. It's right there. It's available for you. The lender pre-qualification with even more detail, that's available for you. Plenty of resources. Definitely take action and let us know if you have any questions. Everyone, you have a wonderful day. Bye.